Welcome to the Music Festivals Podcast. This is the show that helps you get to know music festivals, festival venues, and campgrounds before you go. I'm your host, Neighbor Nate, and I'm glad you're in the neighborhood. Welcome back, neighbors, to episode number 67 of the Music Festivals Podcast. This is the show that helps you get to know music festivals, festival venues, and campgrounds before you go. And as always, I'm your host, Neighbor Nate. As I record this, all around me, HangCon 2026 is setting up down here at the Florida Sand Music Ranch. This is a niche community of hammock camping enthusiasts, and I didn't know there was such a big international community of hammock camping enthusiasts. I got to meet the founders of this event, Paul and AJ. They've been doing it for a while. They both have side jobs as well, but watching these people come in is crazy. Like the excitement, and the trees are starting to just get netted with hammocks everywhere. It's very, very cool. Lots of sponsors and vendors at this event, and it's very interesting to see all these companies that are involved in this. I had no idea that this was this rich. And for the sponsors, if you brought your warm stuff, it's going to be very, very cold down in Florida. In Brooksville, Florida, at the ranch tonight, we're looking at a low of 26, which is really weird for this area, I guess. And we got a lot of rain recently. So hats off to all the folks at HangCon that are going to brave the cold, because we're also under a burn ban here. So there's not going to be any fires. It's going to be a very chilly evening, but it does not seem to be keeping anybody down. Everybody looks really excited. So we're going to have a HangCon recap. That's going to be live next Friday, along with some other stuff that we're working on as well. But in the meantime, if you are interested to find out more about this event and this community, I don't know if it's a conference or convention or whatever. There's no music as far as I can tell. But check out hangcon.com, HANGCON.com, and that'll give you all the details on it. It's really cool. I'm kind of excited to learn a little bit about hammock camping. I've always wanted to do something like that. So outside of that, we have a great show today. My guest is Drury Anderson, who is a mandolin picker and the lead vocalist for Mountain Grass Unit. You guys know that if you follow the show. In the bluegrass, newgrass, jamgrass, space grass scene, whatever you want to call it, these guys emerged in 2025 as one of the hottest new and up-and-coming bands, and they had stellar performances at some really big festivals venues like Camp Cosmic down at the Caverns, Winter Wondergrass Festival out in Steamboat Springs, Telluride, Delfest, Blue Ox, Northlands. The list goes on and on and on. These guys just brought it, killed it. So I'm very excited to talk with Drury today, but he and I are really not going to talk about any of that. There's plenty of people talking about that. You're actually going to get to see another side of Drury that I think everyone will know soon enough, and I think it's really, really cool. He's a busy guy. But before we get going into all of that, I do want to send a big thanks to our presenting sponsors, DLaw Coffee, that's Drury, Aventini, and the Florida Sand Music Ranch for their support of Music Festivals Podcast. If you're looking to build a brand awareness campaign with music festivals and audiences nationwide, Music Festivals Podcast is now accepting sponsors. In 2026, we'll be on the ground covering between 30 and 40 different music festivals across the country, and we'll be connecting brands with fans both online and on site. If your brand is interested in creative sponsorships that blend digital exposure with real-world activations and give you the flexibility to target local and regional markets nationwide, we'd love to talk with you. So check the link in the video description or scan the QR code that you see right now on the screen and go ahead and drop me a message. We're looking forward to connecting. This episode of Music Festivals Podcast is powered by Aventini, the all-in-one platform that takes the stress out of running festivals. Their brand new program management tools let promoters keep every detail in one place. Schedules, stage assignments, artist travel, and even contracts and riders. No more spreadsheets or scattered emails, just one connected flow that saves you time and helps you focus on the big picture. Learn more and schedule a demo of their festival software today at bit.ly Aventini-MFP. That's bit.ly Aventini-MFP. This week's most talked about music festival news story. We lost somebody very important. The world lost one of its true originals. Bob Weir, co-founder, rhythm guitarist, and vocalist of the Grateful Dead, has died at the age of 78. After a long and courageous career that spanned more than 6 decades, his family shared that he passed peacefully, surrounded by loved ones, after battling cancer and succumbing to underlying lung issues. He is survived by his wife Natasha and their daughters Monet and Chloe. I think there's a reason that Bob's legacy feels so close to festival culture. The way that he played, always improvising, always listening, you could see like the gaze in his eyes when, he would connect with Jerry. It was just really communal and unpredictable and immersive and alive, and that very much aligns with what you feel like when you're at a music festival. At least that's my opinion. In the coming weeks, we'll be dropping a special conversation with Tom Hamilton of Joe Russo's Almost Dead, where Bobby's legacy and influence is also going to be one of the topics that we talk about. So stay tuned for that. I'm very excited to talk with Tom. Big fan of not just that project, but all of the projects that he's doing. As someone who personally came into the Dead later in life, Bobby was always the one that resonated with me. Clearly, Jerry's stuff is great, but something about Bobby's percussiveness when he sang and played and just his whole style. And the lyrics too were just fantastic. So hats off to you, Bobby. Hope you cross the bridge and they got a fatty joint waiting for you. We are going to take a quick break and pay some bills, but when we come back, we're going to get inside the caffeinated mind of Drury Anderson of Mountain Grass Unit on his other business, DLaw Coffee. Stay with us.
Hey y'all, it's Drury from DLaw Coffee Company.
Let's take it from the beginning. Hi, my name is Drury Anderson, and I'm a 21-year-old musician from Alabama. Music has always been a part of me, and I'm super lucky to be traveling around touring with my best friends. Whether it's playing music or putting together something for my friends, I've always been passionate about the power of a shared experience. As some of you know, touring around the country involves a lot, and to me, good coffee is essential to staying fueled while on the road. After consulting with friends in the business, I decided to give it a go. My goal is simple: get coffee to people all over who need it the most. So whether you play music, love music, or your passion lies somewhere else, DLaw Coffee is here for you. Fuel the music.
And welcome back to Music Festivals Podcast. We're jumping into our conversation with Drury Anderson from Mountain Grass Unit, and we're going to dig into the role that caffeine plays in keeping a touring band moving and how his new venture, DLaw Coffee Company, is bringing intention, craft, and music into every single roast. So let's get to it. All right, neighbors, we're on screen with a familiar face. If you are a bluegrass fan, or if you're a festival fan and you've toured around the country this year, you've probably seen this guy play his mandolin and absolutely shred it. I'd like to welcome to the show my friend Drury Anderson from Mountain Grass Unit and DLaw Coffee, which is what we're talking about today. How you doing, Drury?
Hey, good, Nate. How you doing, man?
Good, man. It was an interesting year this year. We started the season together down at Camp Cosmic. We ended kind of the 2025 season on a good note down here in Florida at the Sunshine Hootenanny. And you guys have had a hell of a year as Mountain Grass Unit, to the point where I just saw recently that you now have a van. Tell me a little bit about what's going on with you guys.
Yeah, so we were driving around a Ford Econoline for so many years, and it's been a great, little vehicle, but we've had to move up with just the addition of personnel in our band, and we just recently moved to a Mercedes Sprinter van.
Nice.
Man, that's been really great. We can fit more people. It's more comfortable.
Yeah.
Just the whole 9 yards it's a Mercedes. It's hard to go wrong.
Do you have is it a camper? Do you have it configured that you guys can sleep in it if you need to, or is it mostly just gear storage and transport?
Gear storage and transport. We've got a good trailer. It's going to fit the bass and the back seat and our instruments and a lot of people, but it's pretty basic inside. It's not really outfitted besides just having some bench seats and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, congrats to you guys, all of you, because that's the mark of a very successful 2025.
Thanks so much, man.
So one of the things we were talking about before this, I have no idea how you do this, but you run this independent coffee brand while you're touring, while you're playing. Tell me a little bit about where did the idea for DLaw Coffee Company come from?
To be honest, it's been kind of one of those things. I've always wanted to have something a little bit separate from music, related to music, but something that will like kind of get my mind off
the just touring and all that stuff. And one of my other loves is coffee.
Yeah.
And so about, let's see, man, right around the time that we hung out at Camp Cosmic, I sort of drafted up this idea in Boston to start this coffee company, and originally started kind of cheap. It was like a drop shipping company. I went through this reputable coffee roaster that would roast the coffee, and I would make my own labels and advertise it and market it towards musicians, and it seemed to work pretty well, but I just felt a little phony doing that. So this past summer, I actually was going through Illinois with my girlfriend, and I stopped by and bought a 2 kilogram coffee roaster to really start doing it myself. And I moved into this space with the guys here in Nashville, and luckily I had a little spot downstairs that's kind of like a garage, but it's screened in, so it's perfect. It's open air that I can roast the coffee and do it, and it's just been going great.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, it's a slow process, as in the investments, you know what I mean? You got to make a lot of initial investments that kind of hurt, and I'm still trying to get over that and make my way up, but it's been really rewarding. It's
I can
fun for me.
imagine that the house smells great all the time too. Like if you're in the basement or the garage roasting it and it's floating up, like is that a good thing or do you get sick of smelling coffee?
It's kind of a weird smell. It smells really good. It doesn't smell bad, but it doesn't necessarily smell like coffee. It kind of smells more like maybe hay or something that's being burnt, because all the outside, the outer shell of coffee is being burnt off. In fact, our neighbor is a bar. So like this fence right here, like right outside this window is a fence, and then there's a bar right here, and they actually complained to our landlady, was like, "Hey, we think your neighbor's house is on fire, or we
That's
think your
awesome.
house is on fire." And I had to, diffuse the situation, be like, "No, no, no, I'm just, roasting
Yeah.
coffee." Um, but other than that, it's been, pretty pleasant.
Yeah.
It's just one little outlet that, when you roast, it kind of gives off smell, but nothing serious.
That's cool. So yeah, I'm curious. So you started this when you were in Boston, in school predominantly, or at least that's where the idea came from. Did you take a course in entrepreneurial studies, or is this just the bug that you've had since you figured out I want to do something outside of music as well?
It's kind of just the bug I had. I've had a lot of people that I've been able to kind of watch and understand their business plans. Um, I'll give some credit to Luke. He's really great at just scheduling things and figuring out how to market his Patreon and things like that. And it's been really fun to watch how he kind of does things, and I've been able to get a lot of advice through that, and just things also I've learned with the band, just how to market videos and what works and what doesn't. And it's not the same market, obviously, but I figured if I kind of crossed the bluegrass jam world with the coffee, then I would somewhat know how to market towards those people.
Yeah.
And so far, it's kind of worked. It's really interesting. There's a lot of mandolin players that also like coffee. And I could go down the list, but it's interesting to see. It's like I could name probably 6 or 8 mandolin players that are like really into coffee and also play with bands, which I thought was really great. I'm like, man, that's really cool how people, it's cool that there's some sort of connection with that.
Yeah, yeah, it is an interesting cross, and I wonder why it's specifically the mandolin players too. Maybe the
I don't
speed or
know.
something. I don't know. Like it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Um,
it's really neat. It's like all these mandolin players are for some reason into it, and I'm like, man, this is great. Like, I want to reach out to them and just be like, hey, like I got this thing going, and I think you'd like it because we're talking bluegrass and coffee here, two things that you
Yeah.
also like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So you've had to kind of figure out the whole roasting thing, and not just that, but sourcing beans and all the stuff that goes into it, the equipment. I only got to see it done once. I used to do marketing for a living, and I got to work with a company called Crimson Cup and go in and see their roasting process. And just
Oh
from that
wow.
one experience, it's incredibly complex, right? You really kind of have to know what you're doing. Where do you go? Like, how did you teach yourself all this?
Man, when I was on the road last summer, before I really even started roasting, I got on this master class course with Scott Rao, I think his last name is Rao.
Okay.
He's a master roaster, just acclaimed by so many people as being one of the best, whatever. And I just watched his course and tried to understand as much as I could. Obviously, there were going to be things that I needed to learn myself just through trial and error, but he gave me a good start before I actually got my hands on the machine. I'm lucky my Bedeli roaster, Bedeli is the brand. It has a lot of capabilities to where it keeps temperatures stable, which is something you might not find in the bigger roasters.
Okay.
Um, it's able to actually turn itself off and turn itself back on when it needs heat and it needs less heat, so you can program a lot of things, which has helped me out a
That's cool.
lot.
Yeah.
Because I don't claim myself to be anywhere near a master at this or even really know anything about it. I'm learning myself, and I'm just trying to make each step a little bit better than it was before. And so far, it's gone pretty well for me. Sourcing the beans is probably the hardest part, just because people become attached to a certain flavor or whatever, and it's not necessarily easy to just keep a steady stream of whatever you were buying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
on top of that, like, I don't have endless capital, so it's like, if people love this flavor, I can't just constantly have 100 pounds of it on deck ready to go.
Yeah.
Uh, so that's really been my biggest challenge, is to find out how much inventory I need to have and how much I need to have saved. Profit, turnover, things like that. I'm working on that.
Yeah, we live in the time of tariffs, right? And I'm assuming you're sourcing your beans internationally. Have you run into issues around tariffs with that?
Oh man, totally. It's been a little bit of a hard thing in the beginning. In the summer, early fall, that was a really big issue, and prices were really expensive. Um, Luckily, since then, there has been a reversal of most of these tariffs for essential items, which
Okay.
includes coffee, beef, a lot of things that people buy from day to day.
Yeah,
So coffee has actually had a big relief, which is really nice.
that's a very big
This su
essential item. Yeah,
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 absolutely. And, you know, coffee doesn't grow in the United States, and so it's hard to get around that, because everywhere, you have to ship it in internationally, um, or at least somewhere close. Mexico would probably be the closest area, Central America, something like that.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, I can't necessarily say this is just because of the tariffs. It might have been because of the different places I was sourcing it, but I was seeing Colombian beans being in like the 11 to $13 range a pound,
wow,
which is a lot.
yeah,
Um, since then, I'm seeing more like $6, $7 a pound, which is just like, hallelujah,
yeah, yeah. Which
for
is
a
still
small
obviously
roaster like
margin.
this.
Yeah,
Totally, man. It's like I need at least 50%
yeah,
to make this worth my while. And more if I can make it happen. And that's not because I'm trying to be greedy. It's just because, the cost of operating something like this is, uh, it's kind of cutthroat as far as that goes. So
yeah. So have you gone to any of the big like I know that I used to go to the National Restaurant Association show in Chicago and there was a big coffee component there. Have you gone to any coffee industry conferences, events, and if you did, what'd you learn from them?
Man, there's one massive one in Anaheim this year that unfortunately is lining up with one of our dates in April.
Okay.
I think it's more so like the baristas one,
Yeah.
but they kind of go hand in hand. Talking about beans and everything like that. So I'm a little bummed to not be making that, but hopefully next year I can hop on down there. I've been really just trying to go out to as many local coffee shops here as I can. Finding people that I can talk to and give me advice on that sort of stuff. It's really neat to see like people out there making it happen. A lot of them are coffee shops, and I've been wanting to do something like that, but I mean, just the possibility of that while I'm on the road is just
Yeah.
not possible, you know?
Yeah.
So I've even thought about maybe even just doing a coffee trailer or something I can operate part time, or maybe even do like some small pop-ups and things like that. I was
Yeah.
talking to a coffee company down the street and I just pitched them the idea. I mean, man, it'd be really cool if like one day I could come over there, bring a bunch of coffee, y'all could make it, we could have all these people, it promote your business, it promote my business,
Yeah.
things like that. Um, but I've learned a lot about the roasting process. I would say I've learned more about how to make it,
Yeah.
which seems kind of silly because it's not necessarily the department I should be focusing on, but it seems to interest me more,
Yeah.
where the beans came from, how to prepare them. I've been really getting into how to like pull espresso shots and stuff like that.
Okay. Cool.
Um, in preparation for it, there is a time where I do want to like open some sort of small pop-up temporary thing. I'd be able to, you know.
Yeah. It's interesting you mentioned the trailer or the truck or whatever it is, because if you go to I mean, you've seen it at festivals, the most popular place and the longest line at from 9 to 11 a.m. in the morning is the coffee truck, right? I would
Totally,
love to
dude.
see a DLaw coffee truck follow you guys around on tour. It'd be fantastic.
Man, I've even had some people that have said like, get me outfitted in a DLaw coffee truck and I'll drive around to y'all's festivals and set up, and I'm not knocking down the idea.
It's almost like a roadie. Like totally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I just I get worried about being on the road and being responsible for things that happen
Yeah.
that I can't fix, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And so that's why right now it's been really nice to just have the online orders. I
Yeah.
can prep a bunch and I take each run as I go. You know what I mean? This
Yep.
run, I'm lucky to have my girlfriend Dakota here in Nashville for the month, so she's gonna ship everything out that I roast, so it's like, okay, I got a plan for this. And I kind of just have to take it step by step because of that.
Yeah, I love these
Um,
stories though. I love the grassroots entrepreneurial. We're doing it out of our house. My girlfriend's helping me ship it. Like that's the ingredients. That's the stuff that goes into a really successful brand story. If you look back and you look at all these huge brands, Amazon started exactly like that, right? Like,
Totally.
yeah, it's so cool that you're doing this.
Man, thank you. I'm a coffee drinker. I drink liters of it. And I know what I like and what I don't like. And I guess essentially with this brand, all I'm wanting to do is just give people good coffee, and specifically target around the music world. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm enthusiastic about having it around. I love going to a festival and knowing that it's there, ready for me.
yeah,
There's a lot of late nights, there's a lot of early mornings, everything like that. And it kind of makes the music world go round. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Aside from, I think, obviously alcohol sales are a big part of venues and stuff like that. But when you talk about festivals and people setting up stuff and the behind the scenes stuff, people got to stay caffeinated, man,
yeah. Yeah, the folk, especially the folks from behind the stage, the production guys. There's always coffee brewing back there, and they're sucking it down because they've got 14, 16-hour days most of the time, and then they're getting up and going to the next show. So
Absolutely. And you
yeah,
know, it's one of those funny things. It's like, do I think the staying up all night, drinking coffee, setting up rigs all day lifestyle is sustainable? Maybe or maybe not. You
for a
know what I
short
mean?
time,
But
yeah, yeah,
I've been there, and I want to be able to supply for these people. And for me, coffee is something that boosts my creativity and just boosts my outlook on what I'm doing.
yeah,
Um, and I just that's what I like about it, you know?
yeah.
Um, and so I'm really trying to market that towards people and become some sort of fueling, driving force for people who wanna really get at it.
As a career-long brand marketer, the tagline "Fuel the Music" is perfect. It's absolutely perfect. I
Sweet.
love it. It's creative, it's short, it's memorable. And I think it very much speaks to the vision that you just talked about. So people can find you at dlawcoffee.com. This is a direct-to-consumer play as of right now. There's some other things I think in the works. Talk a little bit about your brands, new developments. I know that you recently launched some new flavors and some new roasts. What do you got on the docket for 26?
Yes, so, we're coming out with some new flavors pretty soon. Those will be as I'm getting off the road into February, into March. Um, right now I'm really focusing on specialty roasts. So what that is the beans that I choose within that week or month or whatever. I do a certain batch of them, I write them down, and I put them on my website. And if it's hot, it's hot. You know what I mean? And you can
Yeah.
grab it. So I do want to encourage people, if they're looking, just kind of keep your eyes peeled because I do put stuff on there every once in a while. I'm keeping a steady flow of Sam's Upright blend right now, which is a kind of more heavy caffeine, coffee. People,
Yeah, great brand name. Like such a good
yeah,
brand name. Yeah.
I think Sam came up with that.
Yeah.
And I'm working to get some flavors for the other guys. That's my main focus right now is get every member of the band.
Gramps is something that'll be great. Like I'm looking forward
Yeah,
to it.
Gramps will be great. I'm working on Luke's right now,
Yeah.
and that'll be coming very soon. So I'm
That's
excited
awesome.
about that. Um, and yeah, yeah. I wish I could have a more large, expansive selection of things, but it's like I said, it's 2 kilograms. It makes 5 bags
Yeah.
a batch. You know what I mean? So I can't really have this large, extensive menu, but I'm trying to supply with these specialty roasts, give people more options more frequently, and at some point we'll move up the operation. But for right now, we're just going to keep on roasting and shipping them out.
Yeah. Well, I love what you're doing, and I can't. I still am baffled as to how you make this all work with your schedule and everything you're doing. So hats off to you, man. Again, the company is DLaw Coffee. It's dlawcoffee.com. You can buy direct bags from there. What else you got? I'm
DLawCoffeeCompany.com.
sorry. Yes, dlawcoffeecompany.com, and that's company spelled out.
Yep,
Okay.
DLawCoffeeCompany.com.
Yeah, and we'll have a link in the show notes for that. We'll throw a QR code up on the site in case you're interested. And I would love to. We'll get a couple bags from you because we're doing a media tent. So we've got Whippersnap coming down here in February. Big production, 2 stages, and a media tent like you guys saw. And a team of influencers coming down. So we will be brewing D-Law coffee for those guys every morning at our production meeting, as well as telling people about it. So yeah, I'll have to get with you offline. Maybe we can get some stickers or something made up and let people know about the brand.
Totally,
But
dude.
hats off to you, dude. Like such a cool story. And hats off to the rest of the band too. For Luke particularly, I know I've checked out his guitar course. He is a hell of a good marketer. And if you are learning to
Absolutely.
pick guitar, that is definitely somewhere you want to check out.
Yeah, no doubt.
And yeah, it's just been a pleasure watching you guys over the course of this year, and I really wish you all the best of luck on D-Law because, man, you're onto something. I've looked at a lot of consumer brands over my career, and I like the heart behind it. I think it's gonna be a big
Thanks so
hit.
much, man.
Yeah, dude. Seriously. Well, thanks for joining the show. And real quick before we go, going back to the Mountain Grass Unit thing, where can folks catch you guys in the early season coming up?
Let's see here. We're going to be in the Midwest. We're doing some dates with, let's see, the String Dusters. So coming up, we're playing our solo shows in Lexington at the Burl on the 15th, January 15th, Louisville on the 16th, 17th is going to be Peoria, Illinois. January 20th is Des Moines, and then we're going to be doing the Mission Ballroom with the Kitchen Dwellers on the 24th, our own show in Lawrence, Kansas on the 26th, and then from the 28th through 31st, we're going to be hopping on the String Dusters tour, which we love those guys. We're super excited.
Are you, they're coming down here. They're actually going to be at the ranch for EMS Bluegrass. So
Oh,
I'm
really?
a huge String Dusters fan. Yeah, I love those guys.
Me too,
they're
man.
the first bluegrass bands I ever started listening to. So that's awesome. You guys going to be down here again, or are you skipping that one?
No, we're skipping that one. Mainly just Midwest.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we love we love the String Dusters and the Kitchen Dwellers. I almost said Kitchen Dwellers, thinking about the Mission show as well. But
Yeah.
we love them both. And just to be part of their show is super rewarding for us. So we're thankful.
Yeah, for anybody else listening too, check out the String Dusters podcasts. I know they have 3 or 4 of them that they do through the, what is it? I'll have to put this in the show notes, but they have their own kind of like podcast network. Americana Vibes is their label, and then there's another network that they have. The Bluegrass Situation, I think, is where they.
Yeah, that's Chris Pandolfi's podcast. We just recently did that one. I don't know if it's out or not.
Musician's Brain is the name of the podcast.
Yes. Thank you. Yep.
And then, Andy's at wherever that is. He does the live show version of it. What is it? It's really great. He brings on somebody, they kind of build a performance, they interview in the middle of it, and then they play again, but he's always bringing in musicians. So just a great podcast to check out if you're into the scene.
That's sick. I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, I'll shoot you a link. But yeah, dude, best of luck to you. Have good times working out that new Sprinter van as you guys hop about, and I hope to catch up with you very soon.
Thanks so much, man.
And that is all we have for this week, neighbors. Make sure to check out DLawCoffeeCompany.com. I only got that one right after saying it 3 times. And order some bags of coffee for your own festival camp kitchen. We sure do appreciate all the support that Drury and DLaw has given us over the course of the show. And we wish he and the fellas in the band easy riding in that brand new touring Sprinter van that they got. And make sure, if you get a chance, by all means, check out Mountain Grass Unit this year at a festival or at one of their own shows. You're not going to be disappointed by that for sure. Make sure to visit musicfestivalspodcast.com and subscribe to the Neighborhood email newsletter. This is where you're going to get live stream announcements for 2026, festival news and updates, documentary announcements, and even announcements on subscriber events coming to a festival near you. So make sure to sign up for that. Next week, we're going to have a full recap of HangCon 2026, as well as a festival preview with promoter Jeremy Greenwood of the Zootopia Music and Arts Festival. That's happening February 5th through 7th at Sun City Stables, just off of US Highway 41 in Ruskin, Florida. So not too far down the road from the Florida Sand Music Ranch. The links to that festival will be in the show notes. You can still get tickets to that. I, for one, am excited to find out what they're doing. It's going to be very, very interesting, kind of a last minute thing, but we're excited to talk with Jeremy. If you are listening to the audio podcast, thank you very much. Please go and rate the show on Spotify or Apple while you're there. And then head directly over to YouTube to subscribe there, and make sure you press that bell button so that you get all of the videos, including the festival documentaries and all the stuff that we do that are in between the weekly podcast episodes. You can join the conversation in the YouTube comments with your neighbor or on the Music Festivals Podcast Facebook page, or you can find me at Neighbor Nate Fests on Instagram and drop me a message there. I love hearing from you guys. guys. Before we wrap up, I want to give one more big thanks to all of our sponsors, Aventini, DLaw Coffee Company, and the Florida Sand Music Ranch for their support of Music Festivals podcast. Make sure to look for links to all of their stuff in the show notes. And neighbors, please support them. They support us. They support festivals. It's a nice thing we got going on here. As always, I am Neighbor Nate, and I hope to be your neighbor at a festival very soon. Maybe it'll even be this weekend down here at a very chilly HangCon.